Welcome to Soul Spark. These episodes are brain snacks, brief, bite-sized reflections from my personal journey, designed to be digested in just a few minutes. I'm not here to tell you how to live or what to do. I'm just here to share my stories and the questions I've wrestled with along the way. My hope is that by sharing what's moved me, I might just spark something in your soul today. Let's dive in. Episode 9. The liberation of the new mistake. Take a moment and think back to being in school. Do you remember the feeling of getting back a paper, covered in red ink? That sharp visual sting when you saw the crosses and the corrections? For most of us, that was the moment we learned a very dangerous lesson. That making a mistake is a failure. That being wrong is something to be ashamed of, something to hide, or something to avoid at all costs. On February 12, 2024, I found myself wrestling with that old red ink ghost. I was looking at a project, a path I wanted to take. I felt this heavy felt sense of paralysis. My mind was running 1,000 simulations, trying to find the one route where I wouldn't trip, where I wouldn't look foolish, where I would be perfect right out of the gate. But as I sat with my journal, a thought started to hum in my internal resonance. What if the goal isn't to be perfect? What if the goal is simply to stop making the old mistakes? See, I realized that there are two types of mistakes. There are the old mistakes, the ones we make because we're stuck in a loop. The ones born from old habits, from the working dentist trying to please people, from the protector trying to stay safe. Those mistakes feel heavy. They feel like lead in your physical intuition. They are the loops that keep us spinning in the same spot of the woods, never finding our north. But then there are the new mistakes. New mistakes are different. They are the mistakes of the explorer. They happen because you've dared to step into the void. You've tried a new language, a new way of lead generation, a new way of expressing your soul. A new mistake is a sign of life. It's the sound of a boundary being pushed. It's the cellular knowledge that you're finally treading on ground you've never walked before. I wrote in my journal that day, "Let's make new mistakes." It felt like a battle cry because if I'm making a brand new mistake, it means I've grown. It means I've had the courage to shed my old skin and try on a new one, even if that new skin feels a bit tight and awkward at first. Think about a compass. Sometimes to find the right direction, the needle has to jitter. It has to swing past the mark, overcorrect, swing back. Those swings aren't failures of the compass. They are the process of the calibration. Without the swing, the needle is just stuck. We live in an anxiety-driven culture that demands we get it right the first time. We're taught to be specialists who never miss a beat. But as a multi-potentialite, as a seeker, that kind of perfection is a cage. It kills the spark. It turns the adventure of living into a spreadsheet of risk management. When I look at my life through a physically resonant lens, I feel the difference. A safe life, one without mistakes, feels constricted, feels like a shallow breathing. But a life where I give myself permission to mess up in a completely new way, that feels expansive. It feels like my lungs have finally found their full capacity. So I decided to stop apologizing for the red ink in my life. Every time I try something and it doesn't quite land, I don't look at it as a setback anymore. I look at it and ask, is this a new mistake? If the answer is yes, I celebrate because a new mistake is the most honest feedback the universe can give you. It is the void talking back to you, telling you where the edges are. What if your fear of being wrong is the only thing standing between you and your next great evolution? What if the most successful version of you is simply the one who has made the most diverse set of mistakes? What if perfect is actually just another word for stagnant? I want to invite you to do something radical today. Go out and find a way to be a beginner at something. Be willing to be clumsy. Be willing to trip. Be willing to make a mistake that you've never ever made before. Feel that internal rhythm of growth that only comes when you stop trying to be right and start trying to be real. What if the wrong turn is exactly the one that leads you to the view you've been searching for? I hope to have sparked your soul today. Thank you for sharing this space with me today. As you step back into your world, remember that you don't need to have all the answers right now. Sometimes just noticing the question is enough. May this brain snack offer a moment of stillness in the noise. And remember, embrace the spark.